everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here in my craft room and my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to start a new series called Cardmaking 101. And the reason I wanted to do this is I know that I've got new people on my channel. I don't know where you're at in your stamping journey, but in case I have some beginners and for future people that come in, I can refer to this series and hopefully that will help newcomers or new crafters become comfortable with knowing where they need to start, what they need. And I'm going to start off, I think, with this series talking about the bare basics, because I think we all need to have a starting point. So as many of you know, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located here in the beautiful state of North Carolina, and if you're currently not working with a demonstrator, I would be more than happy to earn your business. And if you are new to Stampin' Up! And you have never heard of us, and it's something that you're interested in, because everything that I'm going to show you in this series will be Stampin' Up! And we carry everything that you would ever need to get you started, from beginner crafting all the way to advanced crafting. So what I want to do first is I want to show you, or first I want to let you know, if you want a catalog and you're interested in ordering from me, I would be more than happy to put one of these beautiful catalogs in your hand. This catalog just came out the 3rd of May, so it is good for an entire year. So if you're interested, reach out to me. My email address will be right about here, and if you'll email me and just say that you would like a catalog, include your mailing address, and I will get this out to you ASAP. What I want to point out first is in our catalog under color collection gives an array of all of the colors that Stampin' Up! Carries and the product line. So if you start off here with our in colors, there's always 10 colors in our in colors. Last year's in colors and the new in colors. These colors last for 2 years. So when they introduced, this was the one that was introduced last year in 2021, that will run us through 2023. Then these will go away. The colors that just came out this year will move over to this side, and we'll have a set of 5 brand new colors. So that's how they do the in colors. Our regular colors, our brights, neutrals, regals, and subtles will stay the same. And then we have our basics, which are your very vanilla and your basic white and your black. So these are colors that are always standard colors in our color collection. So what I want to talk about today is color coordination. With Stampin' Up!, you never have to guess what the colors are. Every designer series pack of paper, and that's any of your pattern paper. Stampin' Up! Calls pattern paper designer series paper, or very often referred to as DSP, designer series paper. On the back of every pack of designer series paper, it will tell you the colors that coordinate with that particular pack of paper. So you can always look, and I'm going to zoom you in right here, and you can see that Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, Mary Mallow, Mossy Meadow, Polished Pink, and So Saffron. Now, any of those colors will coordinate, and let me zoom you back out. Any of those colors will coordinate with these papers, but you have to look, because there is Blushing Bride, there's Calypso Coral, there's Balmy Blue, there's Granny Apple Green, there's So Saffron, there's Mary Mallow. So as you go through the paper, you'll be able to see the colors, and if you're in question, say you don't have all those colors, you can look in the catalog and it will also show you. For an example, let's go to the designer series paper. The catalog is laid out in such a way that it is absolutely foolproof as far as, let's go over to, I'll tell you what, let's go over to this Awash in Beauty. And here is the Awash in Beauty, and there's the paper right there, and under it it's going to show you the colors. So say you are new in picking up cardstock. Now for me as a demonstrator, and over the period of 2 years, I have collected all the different colors, so I have them all. But the average crafter will not have them all yet. You may start out, and I will tell anyone to always start out with white, basic white cardstock. Everyone needs white cardstock in their stash. And you might say, well, what's a stash? A stash is all of your collection of cardstock, designer series paper, your Stampin Dimensionals, your inks, your tools, your paper trimmer, your bone folder, your scissors, adhesives, glues, tear and tape. All of the different things that you use is your stash. So everyone needs your basic white, and basic white comes in two kinds. You have your basic white cardstock, and you have your thick basic white. Now this is our standard cardstock right here, and this is just the basic white. This is a piece of the basic white thick. It's a little bit thicker. It's you can hear the difference when you thump it. So that has more of a high. I mean, I can hear the difference. I can feel the texture and feel the difference. But both of them are excellent pieces of cardstock. They're just used for different things. A lot of times if you're making dimensional pieces that you want to pop up off of your card, you may want to use something a little thicker. If you're doing, like I just recently put this card up, and if you're doing something with these types of pieces, you might want these to be a little bit heavier duty. So I use the thick cardstock. My pop-up pieces are done in the thick. So your card base, a lot of times card bases are done in a thicker cardstock. So that this video actually just it went up yesterday, so that's the reason that card is still sitting in front of me. But anyway, you need to choose a white cardstock, whether you get the basic or the thick, basic white or basic white thick. So that's where you want to start. And then you might say, well, okay, I've got cardstock. You're definitely going to need ink. So the very first ink that I would suggest getting is the Tuxedo Black Momento. Memento ink is a great ink to use for your all-around stamping. This is a dye ink. A pigment ink is like a VersaFine ink. It sits on top of the paper, so the ink actually sits on top of the paper. That's the reason when you use Versamark? No, Versamark is our VersaFine. VersaFine is actually a pigment ink, and pigment ink sits on top of the paper. Momento is a dye ink, and what it does, it actually does exactly what it says. It dyes the paper. So because it dyes the paper, it doesn't move with alcohol. Once it dries, it doesn't move. Now it will move with water because it is a water-based dye ink. So you don't want to use a water-based marker with this. But any of your alcohol markers, that's what makes this so beautiful with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up carries a line of Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol markers. And I always tell everybody, use Momento if you're planning on coloring with that. Now with the VersaFine, this is great if you want to use your water-based markers because it will not move. But do not use it with alcohol markers because it will smudge. You'll have a muddy mess, and you don't want that. But that's for another video with our inks. What I'm trying to do in this video is just tell you your basic supplies that you need to get started. So you're going to need some cardstock. So I would say get you a good basic black white cardstock. And then you may want to add a couple of colors. So you may want to get an assortment pack of cardstock. Stampin' Up sells assortment packs of each color group where you get 4 sheets of each color in that collection. So that's a great way to get, that's in the in colors. I think the regular colors you get 2 sheets of each color. So you may want to get an assortment pack where it gives you more than one color. And come here, baby. Come, mama. Come here. Sorry, my dog is whining and I'm not sure what's wrong with her. Let me go check on her and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So paper, an ink, and like I said, you may want to add in some colored cardstock. So I'm just going to throw in some things that you're going to maybe want to might need to start off with. Let's do a couple of different colors there that you might want to start with, and some designer series paper if you want that. You can also start with just black and white, with white paper and a couple colors. You don't have to invest into colored cardstock unless your budget allows for you to have DSP. Then I would say yes, purchase some DSP. The other thing that is crucial that I cannot craft without is my trimmer. And what makes this one so nice is because this is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and it comes with 2 blades. One is a scoring blade. Your light gray one is your score blade. So you don't have to have a separate scoreboard. You can actually do with just the one. Now, if I'm doing 3D projects that I need to put a 12 by 12 sheet on and I've got a lot of different scores, I will still pull out my my Simply scoreboard because it makes it simpler. But you can do it with this because this particular trimmer has an arm that stretches out all the way to 17¼ inch, which makes it absolutely wonderful. You have a nice lip here and a ledge right here, and you also have 1.5 inches over on this side. So if you've got a piece of paper that has a very short edge, you can actually put it in and hold it here and then cut where you need it to be, which makes it really nice. You've got measurements on both ends, here and here. It does metric as well as imperial, which is what we do here in the States. I'm trying to bring out all of the different features. You have a hook here, so if you have a pegboard or something, you can actually hang your trimmer up like that. It has nice gripping feet on it so it doesn't move around on you. You have a clear see-through window on your guide that allows you to see through it, and your blade actually has an arrow or a little indentation right there so that you can line it up. And I put a piece of paper, I just took and glued down a 1/4 inch strip of paper on the inside of mine right here, so that I can see my measurements from this side. See what I did? And that's real simple to do. I'm trying to think of all of the features that this trimmer has. Oh, it's also broken down into 16ths, which not all trimmers are. So if you have quarters, let's start. You have wholes, halves, quarters, 8ths, and 16ths on this trimmer, so it will take care of your need. And if say you are watching a video that's in centimeters, we have those at the top right here. But now you can cover those up with some washi tape if they confuse you. They don't bother me because I know that I usually measure by my imperial, unless I have watched someone's video and I'm trying to break it into what it would be for our imperial measurements, or I want to make it just like they did and I want to follow the metric system. So that's just how I do it. So also your track has a place, and I'm going to show you, your track has to be cleaned out ever so often because you will get debris of paper, sometimes glue, all kinds of little, it depends on what you're cutting, but you can clean that out just by running something down the track. I will sometimes just take an alcohol wipe like this. This is probably another video, but I'm going to show you while I'm on here. I'll lay an alcohol wipe, and I make these. and I will just run my take your pick tool down there and see how it cleans that track out. And I suggest doing that ever so often. I will try to clean mine out a couple of times a week just to keep that track, because once that blade can't get down in there to go into your paper, you're going to get jagged edges, you're going to get all kinds of problems with your trimmer. So I just make sure I keep mine cleaned out, and these alcohol wipes are good for cleaning any of your trimmers. It has a really nice coated plate, or yes, base, I guess you could say, this is not going to wear off. And whenever I wipe it off, I just go back with a microfiber towel and I just wipe it down after I do that, and my trimmer stays nice. And I've had this trimmer now for over 2 years, and I'll use it all the time. The only thing I have to do is replace the blade. Never had to replace the score blade, but my blade, I have had to replace it. Very easy. Let me show you how easy these pop out. This little area right here, it has a place down here at the bottom, and when you mash one side up and the other side down, it makes it so that your blade lifts right out, just like that. And you can replace it. You take a new blade and you put it in, you slide it down, and you raise up on it, and as soon as you hear that pop in, let's get it right there. I need to turn it this way, I'm sorry. I am such a creature of habit that right about there. As soon as I got it into where it needed to go in, it went in with no problem. I was trying to put it in over there because I had it sideways. Okay, and that covers your trimmer. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, any other trimmer would work. But if you're in the market for a very good trimmer and one that will carry you through for years to come, I highly recommend that particular trimmer. You're also going to need a stamp set. Stampin' Up! Is famous for their stamp sets, and I would suggest to get one that has, and I'm going to use the Paradise Palms, because this will allow you to build a scene. It also has some really nice sentiments. You have wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day, which is great, because here you've got palm trees, you've got coconuts, you've got a sun, you've got a piece of land, or you could use it for ocean, whichever. You could use it for both. You could use that as a beach, you could use it as some water, and then you've got some grass. This is a great builder set, and this did carry over in our annual catalog. It also has dies that comes with it. So I won't get into die cutting today because I'm just covering what you would need to start stamping. Now you're also, with this, you're going to need some stamp blocks. And I'm going to cover the 2 stamp blocks that would get you through with this one. I suggest everybody have a D block. This is our D block, one of the most popular blocks. The Stampin' Up! Blocks are very substantial. They are acrylic. They wash and clean up really well. You can actually clean them with your alcohol wipes, like I did my trimmer just now. And I just wipe mine down like that. And I will go back and dry them with that microfiber cloth just to make sure that I'm getting them dry. I don't want to put my stamps on them. But that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a block, and you can see you could probably get away with this block if you angle it. Yeah, you could actually do any of these at an angle using this one block. So, and it also tells you when you look in the catalog what blocks you need to use with what Stampin' Up! Now for me, I would choose those 2 blocks for this set, and this is the H block and the D block. Yeah, and it's not to say that you would need both of these, but I would definitely get the D block, and I would add later I would definitely add an H block to it. We have a range of blocks, and you can bundle those and get them, save 10%. Anytime you bundle, and in the catalog you will see that. And always use, if you're going to buy the bundle, you do not get the discount unless you use that bundle number. So remember that. You can't put them in individually and get the bundle price. You have to use the bundle number. So just as a point of reference. So now you're going to need, you've got cardstock, you've got your basic white, you've got some color, you've got some designer series paper, you've got a stamp set, some stamp blocks, your ink, and you are ready to make a card. Now another item that is good to have, not a necessity, but it's good to have, is a bone folder and a pair of scissors. I would say that these are your basics. Now, am I saying you got to buy all of this at one time? No. Start off with a stamp set, some ink, a block, and some cardstock. Try your hand at it. And also, if you're not sure, if you're brand new to stamping and you're not sure that stamping is something that you want to do, I would suggest buy a paper pumpkin. Paper pumpkin is a kit that Stampin' Up! Offers. This is the one for May. This is the last one that I received. I did do a video, or did I put it up? No, I didn't. I think I did it, but I never did put it up. You get a stamp set, and you get a stamping spot, and I've already put mine away, but a stamping spot is a little small ink spot. You get some envelopes, and you get enough to make cards like this. You can make, these are the ones that they suggested to make with the kit. There's not a whole lot of stamping. I stamped the You Make Me and Can Do Anything and Just For. So it's not a whole lot of stamping on one of these. Happy to Have You in My Life. These were the cards that was made with this set. And this one had no stamping at all. It was just best wishes and the dots and the piece on top of it. I thought it was absolutely a gorgeous card with very little effort. But you get the stuff to make your cards, you get envelopes, you get Stampin' Dimensionals, you get some embellishments, and you get everything you need to make the cards and instructions. And there's the different envelopes. This particular kit this time, it was celebrating the new in colors, which is the Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, and Starry Sky. So those are our new in colors for 2022 through 2024. So it's a great way to see if stamping is for you, and I believe the kits are now $22 plus your shipping and your tax. But it's a great way to decide whether card making's for you. And I still love making my cards from scratch, as so many of us card makers do. But you can use the Paper Pumpkin kit and break it up and use it with some of your own products and make absolutely gorgeous cards doing it that way as well. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up this series, because this was the one where I just wanted you to see what you would need. And again, I'm going to lay the trimmer up here, because to me that is probably one of the most important tools, and the one that I reach for every time that I do card making is my trimmer. So these are the items that I think you would need to start off with, and then you can build your stash from this. So if you have any questions, if you would like a catalog, please reach out to me on my email and let me know. If you do email me for a catalog, please include your mailing address so that I will know where to send it, and I would appreciate that ever so much. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in from the first installment on my series, Card Making 101. Thanks again so much. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. Now I'm going to go take care of my little needy dog. I think she's ready for her lunch. God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.